In this video, we're going to be looking at every single Cappy transformation in Super Mario Odyssey and rank them by how useful they would be in real life. So, let's do that. Our first transformation is Frog Mode. When transforming into the frog, you gain the ability to jump extremely high. And yes, this would be beneficial in some cases. But how often do you think to yourself, man, I wish I could jump higher right now? Not very often. Also, you get very slow, so I gotta put this in maybe handy. Next is Spark Boy, which allows Mario to quickly move through power lines. At first glance, this might not seem that handy, but there are power lines everywhere, making this a beneficial way of quick and easy transportation. OP. Next, Paragoomba. You already know, if it can fly, I want to be it. So although you are a pathetic little Goomba, the ability to fly is OP to the max. Just watch out for those jumpers. Chain Chomp. You have to think about how it would feel to be chained up all day. Personally, it's not my thing, so I'll have to pass. And unless there happens to be a path to smash open a chain's length away, I can't say this is very useful. Trash. Now, Gold Chain Chomp, on the other hand, isn't actually tied to a chain, so although it's more useful, it's still trash. A T-Rex though? Well, who doesn't want to be a T-Rex? Although it'd be extremely cool to run around as one, destroying anything in your path, how useful would that actually be? You wouldn't be able to live a normal life at all, and if you get captured, you'd probably be living in a cage for the rest of your life. Needless to say, this isn't trash, but only if desperate. Binoculars. This can be very handy if you want to see certain parts of the area for some reason. Maybe you want to go somewhere and you want to check if there's traffic first. Maybe you just want to feel the clouds or get into a high building fast. Then it could definitely be worth using. Bullet Bill. Once again, we deal with the cool ability to flight, but the problem here is the fact it doesn't last forever and you can't fly vertically. So while it may be useful to bridge a short gap or plow your way through traffic, this is maybe handy. I really got traffic on the brain today. Next is Moai. This is a rock that you can move and lets you see secret passages. I don't know about you, but I don't think I have any secret passages around me that I know of. So most likely this would be incredibly useless for me. But being a rock does have benefits like being heavy or more invincible, only if desperate. Cactus. Literally only if you're playing hide and seek this could be useful. In every other circumstance, this just can't be. If anything, people would want to stay away from you and your needles, only if desperate, because hide and seek. Goomba. Very similar to what I said about the Paragoomba, except here you can't fly. So this isn't super useful unless you have other Goomba friends to stack on. But in this case, you're in the real world, so I can't imagine there would be. If anything, this could leave you more vulnerable and make you extremely shorter than what you already are. Not me though, I'm not short. Knuckle Out Tech Fist, on the other hand, very similar to Bullet Bill, but with seemingly infinite horizontal flight. So as long as you can get to a high place, I see this as a dub in the flight department. OP. Mini Rocket. Once again, as long as I can fly anywhere I want and fast, then sign me up. OP. Glidin, or Glidon, whatever his name is. The yellow lizard that flies. It's cool, but it can only glide. And that's just not as useful as full flight. But if you're in a high place and you want to travel far, then boom. And also, it would be pretty fun, worth using. Lakitu. Generally, when Mario takes Lakitu's cloud, it doesn't last forever, leaving Mario to fall from great heights. But it seems that if you're Lakitu, then the cloud that they're in is indefinite. This means you have the power of flight forever, anytime you want, and can go anywhere. Now, they're a little slow, but flight is flight. OP. Zipper. Trash. Cheep Cheep. Have you ever wanted to be underwater forever? Well, now you can. By turning into a Cheep Cheep, you not only have to swim without needing oxygen, but you can also swim a lot faster. And let's not forget about the attacking you can do as well, which will fend off the foes, assuming there's bad people in the ocean. Unfortunately, I can't say that this is useful in real life unless you're like a scuba master or you work in the water for... but it's definitely worth using. Puzzle part though? Who doesn't want to be a piece of a puzzle? Trash. Poison Piranha Plant. Becoming a Piranha Plant would be fine if it was the one from Smash Bros. But the Piranha Plant we see is stuck in one spot on the ground. The poison could fend off enemies, but this would be trash in real life. Uproot. Just like some other power-ups, if for some reason you need to get to tall heights, then boom, this is perfect for you. But there's a limit to how high you can get, and you'll walk kind of slow while you're using it, so maybe handy. Fire Bro could be handy in survival situations like if you're stuck in the woods, or maybe a chef. But day to day, I wouldn't find the use for fire too helpful. Let's not forget about how when you move, you must jump. Maybe handy. Tanking! If you're in the middle of a battlefield, then yes, this would be perfect, but I hope you're not. This could be useful on the roads, but it's pretty slow overall, so only if desperate. The Coin Coffer. This one is interesting because it has to do with money, which we all know is very helpful in day-to-day life. What's interesting about this guy is that when you capture it, you get a ton of coins, but the attack it has shoots out coins that you've collected, which completely wastes money. And we all know how much I hate to waste money. Guys, I promise I don't waste money. Stop telling me I waste money. I promise I don't waste money. I waste money. I definitely do. I waste a lot of money. So this can only be useful if you get the coins and don't shoot anybody. So if you're in a safe neighborhood, then it's worth using. Tree? Trash. Boulder? Trash. How about parts of a face for plastering onto a Goomba for a moon? That's trash. Tropical Wiggler. It could be useful so that you can reach a certain place, but I can't imagine a scenario that it would be very useful in real life. Only if desperate. Pole. Becoming a pole doesn't seem very useful. And inflicting myself out of a pole would be extremely dangerous, especially for me. I'd probably break a knee or something. Trash. Manhole cover. Again, if I needed to move one, then yeah, it would be useful. But I never even wanted to open one even without a power-up. Trash. Taxi. May be useful, but would offer all the same usefulness as a regular vehicle. Ka-chow. RC car. Aside from the fun factor, there's not much to do with it that would be useful. But to be fair, you have to capture a human, and I'm not even sure that's legal. Typhoon, the floating cloud that blows air. The blowing might not be incredibly useful, but again, our guy is flying, so it's OP. Chivarian Racer. He just rolls around. In fact, that's pretty much all he does, so I can't say it's incredibly useful. In fact, that would probably be horrible if anything. Makes going downstairs very dangerous, only if desperate. Gushin is what this thing is called. Using water for short-term flight and water skiing. Again, unless your job has to do with water, then this may not be useful, and I can't think of a scenario in my day-to-day where it would be. Only if desperate. Lava bubble. Thankfully, there's no lava near me, and I hope there's not really any near you, so trash. The bendy fork that makes you travel. Once again, just like the pole, I would kill myself on accident. Trash. What about the hammer bro? Instead of fire, he throws hammers and frying pans, which can't be that useful unless you're into hammer and frying pan sales. I don't think anyone would buy any as they get crushed on impact. Only if desperate. Meat. Literally meat. Trash. Just like the poison piranha plant, we have the fire piranha plant. And everything is the same, but this time I burnt my house down. Trash. Pokio. Once again, we are dealing with heights. While this bird would be fantastic at self-defense, his main ability is to fling himself by clinging onto the sides of buildings and flinging upwards. This would be useful if it worked in a tall building, but that's about all. Only if desperate. And just like the rock we saw from earlier, I can't believe a Jizo would be any more different. That's literally Mario as a statue. I don't know why it's called, I don't know what a Jizo is. But again, we can't forget about the ability for self-defense. Only if desperate. Bowser statues though, same thing as before, but bigger. And you can still move, so only if desperate. Para dry bones. Now that boy is flapping. Again, we got flight. And we don't have flesh, which means I'd save a ton on groceries. If it's like regular dry bones, we could revive after being knocked. And of course, flight. OP. Bonsai Bill is very similar to Bullet Bill, just bigger. Maybe Andy. Charging Chuck. This is the big boy that can plow through anything. While it might be useful to get through some busy streets, clearly I really hate busy streets because I brought it up a few times today, you'd want to take yourself to a football field and join the NFL as this guy. Maybe handy. Mario Letters. Trash. Spoiler for the end of Super Mario Odyssey, though you've had more than enough time to play it, I gotta say it. Next is Bowser. Heck yeah, he'd be useful. He's got fire, he's fast, he's strong, and he's not as big as a T-Rex, which would allow him to interact with society like normal, so OP. And we can't forget about our boy, Yoshi. With his flutter and his tongue, he would be OP, but only because he's cool. In reality, he'd probably only be maybe handy, but it's Yoshi, so I gotta give him OP. If you want to see me rank how useful every Mario power-up would be, click here. And please consider liking and subscribing. Out, see you in the next one. See you later.